When we started this hybrid electric conversion, we knew the engine room needed work. What we did not expect was to rebuild the floor, add new walls, design custom airboxes, and basically turn the whole space into something closer to the pristine white mega yacht engine rooms I used to work in. So before the batteries, motors, and generators can move in, we have a lot of aluminum work to finish. It may not look glamorous yet, but this is how an old working engine room starts to become the clean, quiet, hybrid electric heart of Tangaroa.
I'm working on side number 2 today for the main longitudinal beams. I've got to basically notch them around these front 3 stringers. Not the most terribly difficult thing to do, just time consuming. And then I also have to cut in this cross beam like I did on that side. I'm going to get those kind of all fit in place and weld it in before I cut out the front of the stringers, just to give me some reinforcement in all those areas. Yeah. And then I've got to do the rest of these 3. Then I can start welding some beams crossing the front for the front of the battery banks. And then I'm probably going to have to do some longitudinals for support in the middle of each one of the cell banks. So yeah, that's my project for today, is getting these done and probably working on this second beam on this side. And then we have a crew barbecue after that. So we've got some friends coming over, and we've got one of our crew members coming over to hang out and have some smokies and some beer. All right, this is the second big cut. There we go. Now I just got to clamp on a reinforcement, because you can see when I took that out, it's now got a bow in it because it was under a little bit of load. So what I'll do is I'll clamp a beam on that to pull that back flat again, and I'll weld another cap over the top to lock it in place. And then I can put my beam in over here, and we're going to be happy. Alrighty, so we've got all this happening today. So I've got to make this cut across, and as you guys see, I've got a beam here clamped in place to keep this all rigid. So when I cut this out, it doesn't go all wonky on it. Then I can come back and cap that section there. But yeah, just lots of measuring and little cutting. So here we go.
After Blaine used the sawzall to cut out the old curved floor supports, he had to make the new I-beams fit exactly. And on an old boat, exactly is not always a friendly word. Each original aluminum support had to be trimmed so it could lock into the angle of the new I-beam. That meant cutting a slot into the old support, instead of just butting the new beam up against it. It takes longer, and it is definitely fussier. But this floor will carry the batteries, motors, generators, and a whole lot of hybrid equipment, so every joint matters. The goal is to tie the new floor structure into the original aluminum framing and make it as strong as possible.
All right, getting some beams welded in here today, or at least tacked. And I will say my MIG welding skill is nowhere near what Kevin's is. Pretty ugly. So yeah, I'm just basically trying to get enough bits stuck together where we can get back in here after and weld up the rest of it. I just want to get all the pieces that won't be accessible once we tack in these big beams. So not a whole lot of welding that I have to do. So just a little bit of trial and error basically. But so far so good.
Is Kevin going to weld?
He'll weld all the final welds, yes. Yes, indeed. That's the best choice. So they say if you have to grind your welds to make them pretty, you're a grinder, not a welder. Well, I am a grinder today. I am not any sort of decently skilled with a MIG. Give me a TIG any day and I can do some nice work. I am not a MIG welder.
Why can't you take these?
Well, my machine would be borderline on these as well, and it takes a lot longer to do. So I'm just gonna stick them together. They're melting, they're stuck together, they're not going anywhere. It's just not very pretty. Garbage! Garbage, I tell you.
Your weld?
Yes. Going pretty well here today. I am slowly trudging through getting these beams in place and cut. It is a lot of cutting and fitting to get these, because you got to basically notch them in around every beam. So I've got to cut the top of the rails off and then inset them into the other beam, like you can see in the corner over there. Cam is busting ass, getting all these wall panels in. They're looking really good. He's just getting them all rough cut into place. Then we'll come back and we'll do all the basically lining up the verticals on that so the wall's nice and flat. Then we got to put some cleaning on, get some walls bolted down. We're going to be building some shelving in here as well. Probably some day tanks back in the back there too. So yeah, things are moving along pretty well. We're super stoked with the progress right now. So you can see kind of what I have envisioned here. The air's got to come into this and it immediately dumps down into this catchment basin. And what this does is if any water manages to make it into that vent, because you got to keep in mind, there's like Mach 1 air flying out of here from the fans. But if it makes it in there, it catches down at the bottom of this catchment basin and drains out through this drain. The actual vent going back to the fan will come in from the side of this guy and deke down into that as well. So basically that water's got to battle itself all the way in, around that corner, and back up that way to get to the fan. So rather challenging. I'm not going to say impossible, but fairly difficult. Today I am back on airboxes. This is still going to take me quite a while to finish, so I'm going to be on this for a few days. So you guys might get a bit of this over the next video or two. Right now what I'm doing is I'm cutting a flat plane. There will be a plate that will come in across that, and that will be the split between the two chambers of that airbox. So yeah, start there, and then I'm going to build out this box here, and then I'm probably going to put a flange about right here, and that'll give me a place to bolt my damper to. And then that will shut down either if we're in poor weather, or if we have a fire or something and the fire system needs to shut down that damper, and that'll seal off all the air inlets into the engine room. So yeah, that's fun stuff for today. Yeah, it's pretty close. That'll do, pig, that'll do.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
So what I did for this next chunk, basically this box is being made in multiple sections because there's lots of converging angles that aren't perfectly flat. So what I'm doing is I've taken a piece that I've already cut for another section, and I just transferred some drawings to it. And then I'll just replicate these drawings on the new sheet. Just saves me from having to try to remember measurements. Makes it pretty straightforward. So I've got that one, and then I know my height is 11 1/8 inches. So I'm gonna go 11 1/8 inches, 1 5/8 inches. Actually, I'm gonna be coming at that from the other angle. So I need to mark that. Yep, 1 5/8 inches. Okay, that's my fence line. Now if I line that up, that should be my line, which it is. But now I gotta go get my earmuffs. Be right back. All right, so a couple of guys have asked me what I'm putting on my blade. That's cutting wax, and it keeps the metal from basically sticking to the blade after a while. So I usually just, when it's plugged in.
I think I have an idea.
It feels tinsely.
I wonder if it could possibly be tinsel.
Too bad you can't have it until the vacuum's done.
All right, so I put a little bit of wax on my blade here. Now we're gonna do the first cut on this one. First things first, make sure I'm not cutting through my table. Always a good thing. You're gonna, yeah. Now, I am just using wood blades. Aluminum cuts really easy, so you don't have to go crazy with getting special blades for that stuff. The metal blades do work better, but you can get away with a wood blade without any issues. Like butter, especially with the cutting wax. This Sharpie's gonna have to get retired. Okay, now I just want to double check that my blade lines up with the right spot here. Which it does, perfect. Okay, here goes. Well, guys, I totally fucked that one. Got a measurement off somewhere, and it is nowhere near. The angle's wrong, the lengths are wrong, so I don't know what I did. I thought maybe I just had it flipped on side to side. It's not even that. I just totally fucked up with my measurements. So, yay, get to do it again. Clean out the rough edges here. Knock the burrs off, those at least. Now, fingers crossed, I got this one a little bit better. And I did. That's how it's supposed to fit. So yes, we are good. Yay. As you can see, we've been working our butts off. We've got a lot of the framing done in here, or at least fitted. There's still a lot of welding to do. Didn't really realize exactly how intense this fabrication stuff was going to be in the engine room. I had a rough idea, but it is a lot of stuff, and we still have a long way to go on it, so stay tuned. Just want to thank all these people right here. You guys are super awesome. If you want to see another cool video, check out this one right here, and if you want to see the whole hybrid build from the beginning, check out this video.